Hey y'all, it's Anime Kim, and today I'm going to be reading the 44th episode of Gegege no Kitarou, and I gotta say, I love this episode to see Nopporambo and Atsushi because these two were the center focuses in this episode. You had the human character focused on Atsushi, and the yoga character focused on Nopporambo, and I kind of like this kind of sequences because it showed them interact when they were friends as little kids. But then as Atsushi gets older, it reveals in the second half that sometimes human children, after they befriend a yokai, could lose memories of them slowly as they get older. And I kind of like that because, for one, it expands the lore of Gegege no Kitarou. And while it doesn't exactly excuse why the hell sometimes big-ass catastrophic yokai events happen and then adults never mention it, but I'm not going to open that can of worms this week. I am not going to open that can of worms this week, but I at least like the lore expansion. So that was nice because it introduces a nice conflict in this episode, because this was also introduced in the hotel episode too, when you have the girl who befriended the yokai when she was younger, but then as she got older, she couldn't see them anymore. And I kind of like how it goes back to that, showing off that the effect happens to more people. And I like how it introduces an interesting conflict where Nopporambo, he doesn't necessarily he wants to have Kitarou pretend that he's himself, because Atsushi doesn't have memories of Nopporambo anymore. And I like how he leads into some interactions because it slowly makes you care about Atsushi more, because he's a guy that is in the entertainment business, but he has to lie, he has to pretend he's a playboy when he actually isn't. He accidentally reveals it, and it caused a lot of people to have a shit fit on social media, and they make fun of him, calling him an otaku, and I was like, oh man, I feel sorry for him. So it does a good job of establishing sympathy, and then you have Nopporambo pretty much kind of being scared of what Atsushi is going to respect to him, because Atsushi probably doesn't remember, and they end up in a situation where Kitarou is pretending he's Nopporambo. And then when you have Atsushi show up and he sees Kitarou and Nopporambo talking, then he gets pissed off that Nopporambo lied. I was like, damn, that was a feelsy scene. But I like how the episode also showed Nopporambo's perspective as to why he would try to deceive, because I like how they have those little transition shot of the seasons of years passing in different decades where Nopporambo would try to make friends with kids, but they would never want to play with them. And so finally you have Atsushi as a kid in this flashback wanting to play with them. So that was a sweet scene. It made you feel sympathy for Atsushi because he went through a lot of shit, people making fun of him in social media, and him feeling sad about not feeling like he can't express himself in the way he wants to. And then you have Nopporambo, who's scared to express the way he is himself because of his appearance. And then you have Atsushi, you discover the lie and get angry about it. I mean, and justifiably so, because he went through a lot of mental shit with that whole situation. And that's why he kind of hits Nopporambo a bit. And then you have Kitarou and Neko say stuff like, oh man, I mean, humans are like that sometimes. And it's like, oh, if only they knew the stuff the mental turmoil that Atsushi went through. So I like that. How despite all that, you had Nopporambo still have hope in his friend. So that was nice. And then lead up to a climactic scene where the person that Atsushi worked with, one of his co-workers, is actually a yokai that eats girls and women to feed himself with his Oshiro Baba. And then you have him almost kill Atsushi, but then you have Nopporambo show up because Atsushi accidentally sends a text for help. And I like how the anime uses that conflict to pretty much resolve this conflict. And you even have some character development for Atsushi when he finally decides to be himself and he hits the yokai with the rock. And even though after helping each other, they get into a tough spot, I like how Kitarou saves the day and Nopporambo and Atsushi make up and they start transferring diaries to each other and they start texting each other more, and you have Atsushi end up acting like himself in public television. And this was all a nice way to neatly wrap up the episode, because you have Atsushi become more self-confident, you have Nopporambo now become more self-confident in his interactions with at least a human, which is his friend, now that Atushi has all of his memories back. So all in all, this made a good episode. It was neatly wrapped, and even the animation was pretty good. It had some nice, the action sequences, at least a few of them were nicely done. The art was well done. And the soundtrack was pretty good, and I gotta say, I loved the direction work. It was pretty good. Like, the animators in just a few seconds showed off why Nopparambo really values his relationship with Atushi, his friendship, because he went through multiple years without kids even wanting to play with him because he had no face. And so he made Atushi who didn't care about those kind of things. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing. Like, giving off good amounts of information in just a few seconds takes skill. And that's why I really thought this episode popped. The directing, the writing. And that's why I'm going to rate this episode an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good. Cannot wait to see more. The preview for next week looks pretty lit. And I'm excited. So anyways, guys and gals, these are my thoughts on the Gegege no Kitarou. So comment down your thoughts on the episode below in the comment section. Rate the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.